Hello guys, happy Monday. So I'm in the process of going to create two hats for my jacket. So when I get these hats, they be warped. They be warped out of the box. So I take them and soak them in hot water, okay? Take them and soak them in hot water to bring the shape back. I take them, put them in hot water. A lot of my stuff is still stored up, so I don't have everything in here that I need. But the first thing I do, like if you wind up getting pre-made hats like this, when you get them, a lot of times they be warped. They be warped really bad. So I take them, and this band is glued on. You can pull it off. I just leave it on for the time being. So I wet them in hot water to flex them, to bring them back to the original shape. So I'm going to let them dry like this, sit here, and I'm going to let them dry. And then once they dry and get back in the original shape, then we're going to do some painting to the hats. We're going to do some painting. I got a jacket that I want to paint to match this, and I got another jacket that's coming that I want to paint to match this. Like a lot of times, a lot of people would do these more as summer hats, you know what I mean? Like, you know, in the summer months because they're thinner. But when I get done with shellac and all this type of stuff, they be really a stiff, thicker hat. So I'm going to make them and have them to match these two jackets that I got. So we'll come along, and I just use acrylic paint and textile medium. So the first thing you do, if you order these pre-made hats, is already made. These is not the ones that I get that I shape. So these are pre-made. So with these being pre-made, they're going to be warped. They're going to put them in a package, and they're going to stuff them and bring them to you. They're going to be all messed up. Take them, put them in hot water, and let the water submerge in it, and then lay it on a flat surface like this. A flat surface, because you want your hat to be flat. And y'all know I like my hats to stay flat like a pancake. I use shellac to really get that going. But we're also going to paint these hats. So you see how pretty it look with the dark blue. But when it dries, it's not this dark. But once these dry, I'm going to put shellac on these and make them harder. Then after I make them harder, then I'm going to paint them. So I'll see you guys in another video. Toodles. Okay, so after pretty much taking the hat and letting the hat relax back into this state, I kind of want to make it a permanent thing, okay? I kind of want to make it a permanent thing. I don't want the hat to be able to flex and be able to move and be able to do all that. So now what I'm going to use is this liquid shellac, okay? And I am going to put it on the hat. And I'm going to stiffen the hat so that it can stay pretty much in this shape before I do the painting process, okay? So you want to take a hat, and you know, you want to design it, and you want to have it in a certain shape, and you want the shape to stay, and shellac will turn it hard. Everybody don't like that type of feeling because they be liking to relax and flex their hats. I personally, for my hats, I love to have them stiff as a board, flush, flat. And then, you know, it's winter time. So I'm going to make this scrawl. And I know I didn't say that word correctly. I can't say ST words, okay? So I'm going to make this more stiffer, more sturdier. So I'm going to put the shellac on before I paint the hat. Before I add the painting and stuff to it. And then I'm going to show y'all how I'm going to get inspired to paint this hat. It's going to be inspired by a jacket I got. So I wear the royal blue boots, this hat, that jacket, and I will have a custom thing going. This stuff is very flammable. So if you're a smoker, if you like to work and smoke your cigarettes and do stuff like that, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You would literally set stuff on fire. So be very mindful that shellac is very flammable. When I do like straw hats, I don't burn. But when y'all see me doing the burn method with other hats, those hats be completely dry before I set them on fire. Because in a wet stage, shellac is extremely flammable. So we're gonna let this hat dry, and I'm focusing really on the brim a whole lot because I don't want my brim to be soft and I want my brim to be flush. Okay, I want it to be flush. One thing I like about I know y'all be clowning people with Androids. I'm not really into the iPhones. My son purchased me one. I worked on it for like a day or so, and I'm old school. I was like, send it back. I don't like it. And I got me a Samsung Galaxy. But it tells me when my camera's dirty. So you get ready to start filming, it'll tell you wipe your lens. Your camera's dirty. I like that feature. Because you be looking and like, is my camera kind of hazy and dirty? It'll tell you that. So that's one thing I like about the phone that I have. It would tell me that my camera lens is dirty before I start the process of filming. Okay, so I just want to make sure I got all of the pieces pretty much covered. And it is making the head a little darker, and I'm cool with that. But it's going to make the hat harder and more durable, okay? So we're going to let these hats dry. I'm going to put this one right here. And always lay them flat. I got to get the other hat. So I'll do these two at a time so I can have these two drying before I start painting them. So this one, as you can see how flush it is. So that's kind of how I like my hats. I like my hats to be flat, but it's gonna stay in this shape. So I got a couple jackets that's coming and I want to design them. So yeah. So I got some cute and fun in my head that I want to do. I don't know yet how it's going to turn out. But in order to know if something's going to look good, you gotta put yourself out there. You definitely got to put yourself out there. And, you know, with me being a fashion designer, I will raise the bar and go a little bold, a little different, where the average person like, what the hell? Yeah. That's the great part about designing stuff. I love to create stuff and you get that wow effect. And with the shellac, it do get a little darker. So you see like this hat, and this hat is not 100% completely dry. It's still a little damp, but I stained it with my iron to make the bottom of the brim and stuff. Yeah, so we just doing this to make it. So if you wanted to sew on any additional bands going around, I would say you could do it with the shellac too, but I would say just to make it more better, before you start to sew the additional band on, before you put the shellac on, I would say sew the band on, then do the shellac. So yes, you can paint, spray paint, change the colors, add some creativity to these hats. You sure can. So I got some paint ready. I just want to show y'all something. And like I said, this is in the wet stage. We're gonna let it dry, and I'm gonna have to buy a fan. Oh, I got a fan. Oh, okay. I just gotta plug it up. I was gonna say, I used to have it when I did it in the other place, in the other room. I used to do it where I would do the fan and let it dry faster. I just realized I do have a fan that I used to do my nails with, and I could use that fan I was thinking I gotta buy a fan. I don't, I have one. And that'll speed up the process. Like if you wanted to speed it up. Okay, so put the top on this. Okay. Shellac does kind of have a loud scent to it. So it's getting cold now. So you might want to open up some windows. So if you see right here, right there, but still look kind of, that means I don't really got no shellac right there. You kind of look at it and kind of see. Okay. Okay, let me get some paint. I want to just see something. But normally I wait until it dry. Okay, so this is fabric paint. What color is it? This look black. Don't this look black? This look black. And I always make sure y'all put some down. Like these sheets right here, I don't care about them no more. So I recycle sheets and stuff. And when I recycle them, my sheets, I use them to paint with. So I'm just adding some little definition in the hat. I'll kind of let it dry like that, and then I'll come back and finish it. Because the jacket is like that brown and black kind of fur. So I'm just kind of, normally this hat will be dry when I do this. So this kit, I think it came from Michael's. Make sure you have some down on your floor, especially you got carpet. So that's why I have this sheet and then I have this blanket, but sometimes it can go through. So be careful when you, especially doing the splatter method. So I'm just gonna let this kind of dry in there, and then I'll come back and add whatever other colors that I want in here. I normally let it dry all the way before I do what I'm doing now. So I'm just kind of just playing around with it, just staining the hat a little bit. So when I come back to style it, I have some definition in it. And FYI, if you're just doing it to like the top of the hat, the bottom of the hat won't have anything. So you gotta flip it over and kind of do and wear something you don't care about getting kind of messed up. So do the same. So we're gonna pretty much let that dry, and then once it dry, I will come and do some more definitions to it and deal with it from there. So yeah, I'm just starting to create something, and I just wanted to like put some of the color in it to kind of let it start drying, and then I'll come back and do more. But the head is in the wet stage, so just starting to do something because I want this to go with a black and brown fur. Okay, black and brown. All right, I'll see y'all later. I gotta learn how to work my remote so I don't have to be getting up. Toodles.